All right, let's get this going. Here we go. I'm just going to import an image like I always do. Let's see here. Reference. Hey, how you guys doing? How's it going? On your Tuesday, another Tuesday night. All right, I figured since I had so much fun last week, kind of taking a break from the cowboy, hope you guys don't mind, and we're gonna forge another head. This time we're gonna forge this head. What do you guys think? Looks like a pretty fun dude. What's going on? Sapphire, hey Squid Tank. What's up, Matt Little Bear? Hello, hello. Yeah, Squid. Yeah, people seem to like him, so, you know, why not? You know, those long cowboy ones, or the long characters that are just like, you know, let's complete a whole character. That's fun and all, but it just, it kind of gets a little boring after a while, you know? Hey, what's up, Jesse? How's it going? Right on. What's up, Freakenstein? Let's get this party rolling, eh? Hey, what's up, Dan? How's it going, man? Thanks for joining me, you guys. All right, let's see. Must evaluate. I'm looking at this dude, getting him ready. Hey, what's up, Mike Black? How you doing, man? What's up, Night Shadow? You guys remember that show, Romper Room? It's a show from like the 70s where this lady would like look through this mirror, but it wasn't a mirror. It was like empty, but they would do this like really crappy effect on the mirror, and she'd say like this silly saying and then say, "Who do I see today?" And it's when you guys all show up, it reminds me of Romper Room. I see Jonah, I see. Anyway, look it up on YouTube, Romper Room. It's this old, it's like preschool days. Anyway, we're gonna start out with that little ditty of comedic. Yeah, yep. It's like in the same vein as like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood and Sesame Street and what was the Captain Kangaroo? You guys remember that one? Captain Kangaroo with all the ping pong balls. Oh, Night Shadow. Let's see. Dude, you can't write me a paragraph. I have to stop and read it. All right. College class was thinking, Brian. Oh, Jeff Coates class. Right on. Mult 3D. Hey, oh, chat's working in screen today. Yay, I got it working. See the Night Shadow's thing of text. Thanks, man. Okay, hold on. Oh, Paul Gabriel. Yep, I'm gonna see Paul on Friday. I'm going to the Formlabs Roadshow. I talked to you guys last week and mentioned that. So I will be at the Formlabs Roadshow. I can't remember the address, but if you just type in Google Formlabs Roadshow, you'll find it. Anyway, I'm going to be on a panel. It's not really a panel. It's more like a roundtable type discussion about how 3D printing is used in manufacturing. So that'll be fun. Yeah, those courses sound awesome. A Luigi piece. Okay, so just so you guys know, I'm doing a challenge right now, and I extended it for my students in my course, and I extended it an extra month, so they get 2 months worth. And this time, the theme is anything by the concept artist named Luigi Lucarelli. So, the phenomenal concept, and he just has a very, very good eye for form and stuff like that. So, I can't wait to see what you guys do with that. Autobiography. Captain Kangaroo. Ramble and Rod. I don't remember Ramble and Rod. Oh, man. That's cool. Okay. Let's get this going a little more. I'm gonna make sure I'm facing. I think I am facing the front. Yeah, okay. Hey, what's up, Cody? Let's see. All right. Whoa, that's not what I want to do. Put that back to home. Straighten it back out. There we go. Who? Oh, Mr. Green Jeans. Yeah, I remember that. And Moose. That's awesome. On demand. Okay, let me turn this floor off. Green and pink today. That's the colors we get. His jowl is really interesting. So it'll be fun to get this chin coming out of this jowl. It'll be good times. Good times for all. Oh, hey Art, how's it going, man? So many tips? Great. I'm glad. That's what I'm here for. Hey, Hannibal. What's going on? Oh, dude, Hannibal, I still need to answer you. I'm sorry. I've been crazy busy this week trying to get ready for this Formlabs Roadshow. So, and I also I opened my course for winter enrollment. So that was crazy. And it's still open if you guys are interested in joining. I'll put a link up here in a bit. Got a hot tamale. All right, nice. Oh, when you make characters, how do you deal with the wrist twist action? Or you just retop the Geo as if his wrist is twisted? Do you fix it when you animate him? Okay, that's a great idea because you get the, I can't even remember what it's called. The twisting of the wrist is what you're talking about, like this. Yeah, it has like some specific name. I always just I model the characters with their palms down, and that is like the most neutral that there is, because you have this and you have this, and if it's down, you're in the middle. So I don't model it twisted at all. It just goes straight down the arm, and then it gets twisted in animation. So that's a good question, man. That's what I do. What's up, Sapphire? You're signing up this week. Awesome. Pronation, and what's the other one called? Pronation and some other nation. You can tell I don't know my nations. Aft Nation. Hey Kyla, what's up? Let's see. Yep, you made me laugh. Oh, cool. Pig thing. Right on. You should show that to Ash. She streams tomorrow. Yep, you made me laugh. Oh, cool. Oh, hold on a second. Thing. Right on. I hear myself echoing. Ash. She streams tomorrow. Yep, hold on. What did I do? You made me click away and make it echo. All right. I'm a comic art guy turned clay sculptor turned digital because most of my sculpts broke. Oh yeah, they broke. You know, the digital ones still break, man. This pirate girl, I don't know if you can see this, but she broke too. This piece right here. I don't know where it is or how it broke off, but it did. I gotta find it and put it back, or I don't know what. I was thinking about bringing this to the Formlabs Roadshow, but I don't know now. It's because they get more and more brittle over time. So, all right. I'm talking. You guys get me talking. And I'm not sculpting. I got 2 spheres done. Come on. All right, we get purple. Giving this guy a super fat neck. Oh yeah, did you? There's somebody on. I've seen it on ArtStation, and I think the Zebra Central. Somebody did Aang from Avatar. Is that the Avatar you're talking about? Hey, what's up, Oddwano? Welcome, man. Or are you talking about the blue people? Let's see. I can work on my... Yeah. So Hannibal, it's totally... Yeah, I have traditional sculptors in the course right now. And so far they love it, so... And this method of blocking out with primitives, I learned it from a traditional sculptor, Michael DeFeo. So, yeah. An anatomy crazy hyperdynamic guy. So I teach, in the course, I teach stylized characters, like this one. I don't teach hyperrealism. But that being said, there are some sculptors that come from the hyperrealistic world that have taken my course, and they use this blockout method to start their characters with, and then go on from there. But I don't teach like super hyperrealistic surface textures and, you know, facial pores and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm breathing in this thing too much. Okay, so yeah, I don't teach super high definition surface detail or texturing. I just teach simplified, stylized characters. So we get into some of it, but yeah, Brandon Lawless. Right. There are better courses out there if you're looking for hyper realistic. That's not my thing. Come on. Yep. Anything can begin from a sphere. Anything. Let's see. I want to make this guy crazy thick. Let's see. Just huge shoulders, big chest. Hey, what's going on? Tatara, how you doing? Thick. Come on, get on there. Oh, that's not what I wanted. All right, I'm just gonna clip that off. So are any of you guys going to be in or around LA going to the Farm Labs thing? Anyone? Anyone? There we go. Taking your advice, more blockouts. You know, a bunch of you guys you guys liked it so much last week. So I'm still taking a break from the cowboy and continuing to do this. Okay, I really need to focus here and look at what's going on. So hold on a second. Hey, what's up? Bueller. How you guys doing? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. Is it worth getting a Form 2? Or do you... Well, it depends. It's quite the investment. So I would learn how to do it before making the investment in a new printer. But I do have a bonus lesson that is how to prep your model for 3D printing. That's part of it. Okay. I'm actually going to make this neck bigger. Oh, turn this on. After watching techniques of blocking out by dynamic mesh. Oh, Z-spheres. I have not used Z-spheres for a long, long, long time. It's not saying that they're bad. It's just saying I'm not a fan of that pipeline, because Z-spheres, they stick together, you know, they're kind of harder to edit, whereas I really like to edit when things are primitives like this. Oh, cool. Cowboys are fun. All right, let's see. Yep, Dynamesh, ZRemesh, projection. I love it. That's the best that I've found. Okay. Because you can really you can do your volumes, right? If you were messing with this guy, for example, this guy, if he was a ZRemesh or a Z-sphere, let's see. I'll just show you. Let's just try to make this guy with a Z-sphere. I'll even keep it the same. Okay, let me turn on transparency, move him. Then you would just draw a new one. So it's just kind of stuck in place. Now, and it's already off of symmetry. Gosh dang. Okay, let me activate symmetry. That's my fault. Okay, let's try it again. So, see how it's connected? Then if I want to draw another one, just kind of draw it on the front. And then I would bring it down like this. And then, so now I'm at this point, I can draw another one to make his body right here. But then it just starts, it just starts to not be as nice. See? I can't really adjust the flow here and match it here. And then it's all just kind of these tubes everywhere. And then if I want to make a nose, I have to put another Z-sphere in here and then add a nose and then add the chin. It's just not as intuitive, because this, you're working with spheres, right? They're Z-spheres. And his body is not a sphere. It's kind of, you know, long left and right and short front to back. So I would have to kind of block this in and then get sort of there and then commit it and then start to move it around. So that's kind of the workflow with that. I'm just not a fan. So thought I'd show you that for a minute. Hey, what's up, Thunder Bunny? Oh, you just went over all the Z-Modeler? Nice. Yeah, Z-Modeler is nuts. It's nuts, it's nuts. And I'm sure they're just adding more stuff to it all the time. Still need to make your Surface Pro work? Hey, Mr. Wu, what Surface Pro do you have? Is it the latest gen or is it kind of an older one? Because I have the newest one and it seems to do okay for a while. I mean, I can't really do anything like super heavy with it, but like for blocking out characters, it does pretty good. A 4? Yeah, I think even the 3 did okay, but it is. Let's see. Z-spheres are for block out, not detail. Yeah, that's what I'm doing here too with primitives. I'm not doing detail at all. So, but it's just, like I said, in my opinion, it's a better workflow to block out things with primitives, because you can get non-spheres with these things, right? Okay, I'm gonna use an appendage for this brush, this nose. Perfect. Done. Okay, and the only this is an example of one of the only times I ever switched to transpose tool. Is I want to get a bend. I could just pull it down with this move tool. I guess I could. But I could also switch to transpose tool and use that. Let's see. Has this weird... Oh, there's a dead zone? Oh, that kind of sucks. Yeah, that's hard to work with. Elon's an alien trying to get home. He's going to take his car there, though, so he can drive around. Let's see. Let's see, where's my Photoshop? Doesn't mean you can't use both workflows at the same time. Sure, you can use whatever you want. There's nothing saying this is the right way. Don't do it this other way. I'm just showing the way I typically do it. So it's not a, honestly, it's not an argument. It's just this is the way I do it. You can do it this way or not. Okay. Let's see. I think you get better topo with blocking out with primitives. Yeah, topo, it does matter when you want to put details in certain areas. And when I say details, I just mean if you want to make some peaks or valleys or pinches in certain areas, like around the eye sockets, around the brow, stuff like that. If it has very low geometry in those areas, because I like to keep things low now. I like to stay in the dynamic subdivision state for as long as possible, because that way I just get access to all the tools that you don't get as soon as you add a subdivision level. So I like to keep out of that area. And for that, and I'll show you here in a second, I like to put geometry around those areas. So not a big deal here. Now I want the back of his head to be almost flat. Why? Because it's funny. I like funny. And his head looks like a thumb. It's a big thumb. So I want the back of his head to flow down into his back, just like that. And then from the back, have his neck flow from his head right into, come on. Oh, do I have inflate? No, I haven't moved. What's going on? Sometimes you just gotta hide them and do this. All right. It's kind of like Homer Simpson from the back. You know, I use these spheres for like glasses. Like rims of glasses. I'll draw them out. I used to use them for that. Now I actually, like last stream, I just made a box and drew the frames right on the box and then extracted them, and it worked pretty good. So yeah, tails, it works well for tails. Anything that tapers, that's long and like twisty, it works great for hair. Some types of hair that has swirls, works really good for that. Is it going to have a comb over? Oh, like, I think these are just draw lines from him drawing the head, but maybe. We'll see. I always wonder what the ZBrush interface would be like if it was designed by Christopher Walken. Who knows? That's funny. Hey, how's it going, Juan Franco? How's it going? All right. You guys are cracking me up tonight. Somebody stole his crumpet. Give me back my crumpet. Sorry, that was like Sean Connery. I don't know. All right, here we go. Ear. That's my default voice, Sean Connery's voice. Hey, what's up, Kyle? Dude, haven't seen you around for a while. How's it going, man? Are you gonna be at the Form Labs thing with Paul? He does. He spews breadcrumbs when he talks. This concept's another one done by my friend Josh Black, by the way. I need to throw his name out there for you guys. Let's see. When you see me working on the ears, why is that? Big Mickey ears. Let's see. Getting these lined up. Josh Black? I believe so. Yeah. I believe he's on ArtStation. Or Joshua Black. Yeah, here he is. I'll give you guys a link. Yeah, I'm doing a talk there. Yep, you can come hassle me if you want. All right, I'll push this even farther forward. All right, there's this trick with polish. Sometimes it works and sometimes not. There we go. You can just kind of get these to line up. See that nice smooth transition now? But it's hard because sometimes it'll give you some peaks. So you just need to be careful. What's up, Thunder? Is this going to be a character for 3D printing or for animating? Honestly, it's probably just going to be... I mean, I might print it eventually someday, but it's just for fun, for high res. I doubt I will make it into a game character or something like that. So just a fun high res render. Okay. I think I might add, since his nostrils are so large, I'm going to put some in here with primitives. I typically don't put nostrils, but since these are just so prominent, I want to make sure when I Z remesh them, the flow goes around them. And then pull. Sometimes topological doesn't work as well when you have masking on. So just turn topological off. Let's see. Oh, Disney Infinity Venom. Right on, Sumerian. Very cool. Move this down here. Kyle, how did last week's head video go as far as attendance? I'm always curious. I need to look at those things more. Like to kind of see what you guys want. If you guys want me to keep going on a full character and do that, I will. If you guys want to see more like head blockouts like this in a single session. Let's see. Hey, what's up, Scott? Welcome, welcome. So, Scott, you gotta tell me, man, did you hear the rocket? Zephyrus Prime? Yes, I am. Oh, Matt, Little Bear, you guys talking about the UI, right? Let me show you guys something really quick. I don't know if you guys talked about it yet or not, but if your buttons are giant on your screen and they're taking up all your real estate, what you can do is go to Preferences, and then trying to remember where it is here. Okay, Interface, button size. See how it defaults to like a 58 or somewhere around there, sometimes 48? All you need to do is crank this down and then store your config and then open ZBrush back up, and all of these little icons and all the buttons and everything, they will shrink, therefore shrinking your user interface and giving you more real estate in the middle. So try that if you're having real estate problems. Or see a real estate agent. Okay. Bazooka Plasma. How's it going? Let's see. And blackouts would be great. Hey, what's up, John Jake? Why do you sculpt with dynamic turned on? Because I like to keep my mesh as absolutely low as possible while kind of keeping the surface smooth. Sometimes I'll turn it off like this. It really doesn't matter if it's on or off. But I like, I don't know, smooth surfaces, fun. Oh, you ended up picking your son at school as it launched. Ah, lots of excited high school kids drown out everything else. So Scott lives near the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. I heard the Falcon take off today. That was so cool. Man, so cool. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna switch this to like a more grayish color. I'm gonna pull this. Whoop! I don't. The ear must be in the same group. Yep, it is. Okay, let's clear that out. Put this in its own group. Ah, that's not what I wanted. Oh, come on. There we go. Accidentally rotated the whole thing. All right, let me make sure. All right, if you don't have Alt pushed and you tap some of these guys right here, it'll flip your model all over the place. So you have to make sure you push Alt before clicking any of these gizmo movers. Okay, let's make sure this is masked. There we go. I just want to give him a bit of a longer neck. See the distance between his chin and kind of where everything else is happening here. Just comparing distances. I'm comparing distance between the bottom of his nose and kind of the top of his chin. Right there. And then the bottom of his nose. His ears are a little longer than I have them. A little lower. So let's move them down. And then make them a little longer. They're not that long. Sometimes foreshortening in the concept art can throw you off, especially in ears. So, okay, we'll see how that works. Okay, I gotta move this. I'm standing today. So when I stand, I have this cushion on the floor, and it kind of moves around as I'm standing. I don't know. I'm not like dancing or anything. I don't know why it's moving around. Oh, you got a Boba Fett. Nice. John, Jake, did I answer your question? And if you can't see all the chat, you guys over on YouTube, you might want to join us over on the Twitch channel. I just pushed this over to YouTube, so YouTube will record it for me. And you can, feel free to join in, but if you're wondering why you're not seeing all the chat of all the people talking, I guess you can see it on my screen above my head, so at least you can see that. So anyway, it doesn't matter where you watch from, but if you want to kind of chime in with the rest of the Twitchers, then we're over on the Pixelogic Twitch channel. Okay, just gonna pull this neck out a little more. There we go. Okay, now comes the time to combine these guys together. Let's see, I'm going to duplicate it just like I did last stream. So we have a backup of that block out. Then I like to Dynamesh kind of low, but I like to apply first. So I'm applying the dynamic subdivisions. So the Dynamesh is not going to try and stick to the low res. It's actually going to stick to the high res. And I'm going to divide it up even one more time, so it's on subdivision level 4, so it's nice and smooth. So when I Dynamesh this, the Dynamesh will match as closely as possible to the smooth surface. So Bazooka, I didn't design him, I modeled him. So I get concept from the concept artist, just like this, that you see on the screen here. And then I model from that concept. So it takes a lot of people. A lot of people are involved in the whole thing. And then I have art directors directing me as I model. So a lot of people get a misconceived notion that the modelers are the designers, but they're not the designers. So I just wanted to point that out. You're probably aware, but yeah. So yes, I modeled Boba Fett. And he was a blast to do, by the way. Super fun. Okay, so I'm still tweaking. I can't help myself. Tweak, tweak, tweak. Okay, so let's turn up Dynamesh. Let's try 512. No. Let's merge these guys together. There we go. So this is Dynamesh now. If I turn off the colors, you can kind of see what it did. And, I used to smooth these out. Like I used to go in here and like work all these things out and smooth it. And now I tend not to, because whoops, go forward. I'm using normal Dynamesh on right now because he is so small. He's not a full character. I don't need 1,000,000 polygons to or 1.5 million that Dynamesh Master gives me. I only need enough to combine all the pieces together. So I will only use Dynamesh Master on a full character, typically. So if I'm just doing a bust like this, you can, it doesn't matter. Honestly, it really doesn't matter. The Dynamesh Master just adds more polygons and more surface detail, and it's a little bit slower. That's all. Nope, not a curveball. It's just, it's just like, it's not the same workflow for every single situation, but I cover, in my course, I try to cover the biggest typical workflows that you go through, but there are slight variations. Okay, so now that this is Dynameshed, let's turn Dynamesh off and then duplicate it again. So now we're working on the third head. Turn this one off. Cosmonics, the question is, do I ever work in perspective, or is that not useful? I went over this last stream, and it's a great question. With ZBrush, the perspective is kind of faked. And what that means is, this is not a typical viewport. It's not a typical camera with perspective like you'd find in like Maya or something like that. So the perspective in here, it's actually like skewing your model when you're looking at it. So the perspective is nice. Once in a while, I'll turn it on and I'll work that way. But I typically do not have it on. And the reason why is because if you were to work from the side, say, and you had, I'm just gonna make a mask on here. You can see the mask goes right through both sides all the way. Well, since if you have perspective on, and it's not so apparent because I only have perspective set to like 29 instead of the default 60 something, and that really skews it even more. But now if I mask through him, it doesn't match both sides. When it starts to get closer to the middle, you can't really tell, but it's not perfectly symmetrical, and it'll mess up your model. So it's best to model with perspective turned off, and then just turn it on every once in a while to check your perspective and make sure that you're not way off. So let's see. Oh, hey Matt, you got a bail? All right. Well, thanks for stopping by. If you're still here, take care, man. Awesome. Okay. Do you ever work? Let's see. What's Dynamesh Master? Yep, it is a plugin developed by Joseph Drust, and I always forget the name of the other guy. There's two guys that worked on developing it, and essentially it's a plugin. It's over here. So you have to download it and install it. It doesn't come default with ZBrush. You have to just find it on ZBrushCentral.com. Look for ZBrush Dynamesh Master, or just Dynamesh Master on Google, and you'll find it. You download it, you install it, make sure you're updated to the most up-to-date ZBrush, and grab the latest plugin. They updated it for ZBrush 4R8 P2 right here. So make sure that you're on the latest version. And then this is what it looks like. And all it is, it's kind of a Dynamesh manager. And you can set the target poly count. And I usually just leave it at the default. And right now it's at the default of 1.5 million polygons. And I don't need 1.5 million polygons for this guy. That's what I was just telling Sean. So it's a little overkill for what that is right now. So I just use the typical regular Dynamesh. But what this does is if I hit Dynamesh, it will cook it. And what it'll do is it will scale the model either up or down where it needs to be to gather that many polys to pack into this model. And then it will Dynamesh it, and then it'll scale it back down. So it kind of does some behind the scenes stuff. And you don't really need to know all that, but that's kind of what's going on behind the scenes. And that is the reason why, if you look down here, you can see scale up and scale down. If what I can do, and this is the only way to do it, by the way, well, I guess now Gizmo has this thing right here, transpose all selected subtools. So you can do it with that now. But before this was a thing, before you could transpose all of your subtools at once, this is how you would do it. That's how I would do it, is if I needed to scale up or down my entire character, you can say scale up all visible or scale down all visible. And that would scale up everything and scale down everything on your entire model. And that's how you would kind of make it work. So, okay. Anyway, that's kind of what Dynamesh Master is, and it's fantastic. And Dynamesh Master is better for if you're doing any 3D printing and you need to have a watertight model. Use Dynamesh Master versus Dynamesh because it's a lot more stable when you're in, because you're trying to Dynamesh like, I don't know how many subtools together. And sometimes you kind of need to Dynamesh in parts, like groups of things, and then Dynamesh those groups of things into a bigger Dynamesh thing. Before Dynamesh Master came out, just the regular Dynamesh was super finicky, and it would crash all the time because we would have to merge all the subtools down into our model so it would be watertight before we would send it to printing. And then we'd have to decimate it before, and then we'd send it to the printer. But anyway, Dynamesh Master is a fantastic plugin. It's really good. So, sorry I'm missing all you guys' chat over here. Hey, does Luigi know that we're going to be using his concepts? Yes, he does. Yep, he does, absolutely. He's just kind of busy because he has a brand new baby. So if he doesn't get to answer your request or, right away, that's why, because he's super busy. So let's see. Yep, you still asked to be nice for sure. I told him a lot of people will probably be asking him, and he said that's fine. And it's best to ask him by email if you have that. I need to post his email if you don't have it. So anyway, okay. So let me, I want to Z-remesh this. So like I said, I would typically smooth this out, but I don't need to. I'm just going to Z-remesh this. Okay, so let's, I turned off Dynamesh. And hold on one second. My wife has the heater blowing. I need to ask her to shut it down. It's getting super hot in here. Hang on. All right. Let's see. It's got to load. Okay. Let's Z-remesh this at, I typically try like a 4 on just heads, and we'll see what that does. And I don't need to do keep groups, but I might try it just for fun. And whenever you're going to do something big like this, and something that might crash, like I should have saved it before I Dynameshed, but save it before you do anything big. So I'm going to quickly save this as Josh Head 3. Okay. Yeah. Let's see, hold on a second. Okay. All right, I have the door closed, and my office has no windows, and it's just kind of like, if I have my door open, my kids can hear and they're trying to go to sleep, so I just like to have it shut. Okay. All right. She said she turned it off. Oh well. Okay. Hopefully. Let's see. What? Oh yeah, Sean, that's true. Yeah, with Dynamesh turned on. And actually that's kind of why I like the Dynamesh Master, because with Dynamesh turned on, every time you control and drag on the background like that, it will automatically re-Dynamesh every time you do that. And if you're using Dynamesh Master, it doesn't work that way. It's just kind of a one trigger deal, and Dynamesh does not stay on after you hit it. So the drag control will not work, and I like that better because then I don't accidentally re-Dynamesh something I don't want to be Dynameshed. So anyway, you gonna do any stylized props in one of your streams? I did the pistol for the cowboy, and when I get back to the cowboy, I'm gonna do the rifle too. So hopefully, and then I did, if you look back on my YouTube streams, I did a bunch of stuff for that pirate girl, like her sword and things like that. So if that's what you're talking about. Okay, let's get this going. Z-remesh. Oh wait, I was gonna turn on keep groups. I'm gonna try that. What are you talking about? He's Lio. Some people work exclusively with sub D over Dynamesh. Could you quickly explain your typical workflow? Yeah, so and you're gonna see why I use Z-remesher here. And this is fairly new to my workflow. I haven't worked this way in the past, but I just kind of ran across it. So let's see. So those loops, let me turn on the lines. You can kind of see how the loops turned out, right? So it put nice loops around this chin, around the nose, around the ears. It's pretty good. This is not an animation ready mesh. This is not what this is for. All I'm looking for is for the mesh to kind of flow into the areas that I know that I'm going to sculpt in, okay? And I'll show you how I make the mouth cavity here and the eye cavities and the ear cavities here in a second using Z-remesher. That's kind of a new way that I've been working lately. So, and it's also a lesson I'm working on for my course right now that I'm getting really far in depth into. So, I'm going to undo that because I want to see all these groups it made. I want to try and keep those groups and see what happens. And Matt Thorup said, turn the smooth groups down and you'll get a better result when you do that. So I'm going to try it. Wonder if I can shut that vent. It's like oh, there it goes. It's off. Yay. Okay, so this is why keep groups is sometimes Not the best thing ever. Look at that. Not the best thing. So it did okay for the most part, but you know, in this area, not so good. Okay. Hey, what's up, Rob? Someone trying to keep it gave me a better result with keep groups off, so I'm just gonna leave them off. I don't really need them. Hey, what's up, Boyd? Thanks, man. How warm is it in Texas right now? Using keep groups and turn off smooth or lower. Yeah. But you know, there's typically no reason why you would need to keep groups. I mean, it's kind of nice to keep the flow happening, but it seems like ZRemesher really goes to change of direction more than anything. What I mean by that is if you put a peak or a valley in your mesh, that ZRemesher is going to flow along that peak or that valley better than anything else. So typically even better than the ZRemesher guide. So you put in a guide and sometimes it'll try and stick to it and do a good job, but then sometimes not. So, okay. So now I'm going to show you, we have this ZRemeshed. It's getting colder, down to 34. Okay, here we go. Let's, we're going to pull in these eye sockets. I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. See, we have no edge flow around these eye sockets. And I want to have enough edge flow around them so I can use it to my advantage. So I'm just trying to pull it in here, just using the camera. That's all I really want. Then I'm going to do the same thing with the mouth. But with the mouth, I'm going to do something different. I'm going to use the Z Modeler brush. And I'm going to, let's see how far down, maybe this row here. Poly group, single poly. Maybe one more. Something like this. Then what we can do is just extrude polygroup all and just push it in. I'm going to do it a couple times. Then I'm going to hide everything but this. Then I can hit double. So that now we're inside the interior of the mouth. And we're looking at the back side. So I need to turn down, not RGB, Z intensity on my smooth. And then I use inflate. But since I'm working on the back side of the interior of the mouth, inflate will work reverse. So if I try to inflate, it actually deflates that. See that? So I have to hold down Alt and start to inflate this. There we go. So let's see. When ZRemeshing with mats technique, smooth groups prep help ZRemesher avoid those weird jagged groups. Yeah, it does. It does. So I probably didn't smooth it enough. But you know what? With my, I still get, I still don't get the results. It's like throwing a dime in a wishing well and just wishing for ZRemesher to work properly. It's a very cool tool, but it doesn't always give me the results I want. So I typically just use I typically just use the peaks and valleys to make ZRemesher stick to it better. Because honestly, it's not that big a deal because it's not a game mesh. I'm not after a game mesh. I'm just after some topology that's going to give me what I want. I'm just smoothing this down, inflating it. I don't even need all this stuff in here. I'm just showing you what you can do if you're making a mouth cavity. So yes, you always have to go back. Typically anything you do with ZBrush, you have to go back and retopo it by hand. Okay, so now you can kind of see this mouth, how it's working. Trevor. Oh, you cracked me up, man. Okay, let's see. And I'm actually going to use this detail brush and kind of go around this edge and pull it out to make even more of a peak around these eyes. Okay, and hopefully, my fingers crossed, it's going to work. Okay, it looks really, really bad right now, but if you were watching last week, you probably saw. And I'm going to turn this up to 5 and hit it. We'll see what happens. Okay, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to dynamically subdivide this. See how it's smoother? Hit apply. Then after I hit apply, I can even do it more. Just kind of get this better looking here. There we go. I just kind of peek this edge, and I might even peek the brow a little bit to see if I can get it to follow along. See that? I'm just kind of making I'm deliberately making a peak for it to follow. Kind of some physical guidelines in there. Say, hey, ZRemesher, try and stick to this, would you? We'll try it here too. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to see if it makes some madness in here. This is a complete experiment on my part right now. Okay, so here we go. ZRemesh. Throwing our dime in the wishing well right now. Where's it gonna land? Hey, what's up, Tuanor? Tennessee, nice. All right. Where's Smooth Groups Prep? Oh, there we go. Okay, so this is not too bad. Not too bad, actually. See that? So it's kind of following this. It's kind of following this. It's kind of following this even. And the cheekbone right here. Nailed it. Done. Mic drop. So, hey Mike Black, it is right here. See the smooth groups? So if you turn keep groups on, this becomes available. And turn it down if you want to try and keep the groups. And there are some people like my buddy Steve James. He will define the polygroups, and then he'll use those to define the edge loops that go around these areas. Okay, so it's not a wrong technique at all whatsoever, and that's what Matt Thorpe does too. But I've just been experimenting with peeking out the mesh and doing it this way, and so far so good. I mean, I'm pretty happy with these results. So now we can just start smoothing this. Okay, so now we can turn the intensity up. But why is it? Okay, hold on a second. Do I have geometry subdivisions? No. Okay, I'm going to save this because it's acting weird. It's acting weird. Can you do that around the mouth? Yeah, you absolutely can, but it's more of a change of direction. It's not necessarily a peak in, you don't have to have your geometry peaking. You just have to have a very sharp change of direction. For example, look at this neck. See how this neck has a really sharp change of direction? So it packed the loops in that crevice. Same with under the chin and around this chin, because, or the double chin, because this is a big change of direction. So you don't have to go around the mouth and put a peak around the mouth. You can see how it actually added the edge loops like I wanted it to. I mean, if you wanted more edge loops, you could actually, peak it out even more if you want, but it did a pretty good job as it sits right there. And it made the loops go around the nose because, the loops, there was a big change of direction. So that's kind of what you're looking for. Yeah. Okay. So now that we have the mouth like this, now we can just start working it out and closing it, because with Dynamesh, now Dynamesh, if you were, I'm not going to Dynamesh this anymore because I'm done. The only time you really use Dynamesh is when you are going to merge objects together. So I wanted to merge all of those primitives together like you saw. So now if I were to Dynamesh this again after I closed his mouth, it would actually get rid of that mouth interior, and that's not what I want. So this is what I want. I want it to be Z-remeshed. So then we can work with it. And it's funny because his mouth is like this really like rounded M shape, which is awesome. So we can start shaping this. And I have topological on, and then range I'm going to turn down to 3. So then I can actually start pulling this top lip down without affecting the lower lip. And then I want to pull the whole thing back in space. So it starts to round out. Let's see. What are we saying? Spaceman Tesla heading to Mars finally after 3rd burn. Is it really? I thought this was just a test. I guess it's the real deal. Okay. Close this. Now I'm just going to inflate that bottom lip out. That's awesome. Oh my goodness. Go Elon, go. That was so fun to watch today. Made me get all misty. I was like, oh, so beautiful. So good. Okay, so there's, see this smile line going down past his mouth? I don't quite have that flow happening. So I could try and Z-remesh it and try and get that flow to happen. I'm going to duplicate the head and see if we can do it. But before I do that, I want to, let's see. That was the best, right? That, yeah, that SpaceX ship, oh, or the rocket. Oh my goodness. Yeah, those two solid rocket boosters coming and landing in synchronization together like a beautiful ballet, just like, oh my goodness. That's just a marvel in human engineering. Couldn't believe it. I love my favorite part is how they kept the live crowd, the cheering of all the team there. It's, you know, so you can kind of cheer along with them because of what they've done. Just so amazing. So it kind of let us experience the glory with them, you know. It's really cool. NASA has an internship for modelers right now. There you go, man. He said it exceeded Mars orbit and then went to the asteroid. Probably they wait until drone ship would be back to port. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to try duplicating this head again. You'll see by the end of it I have all these heads. And let's apply this. So this is real subdivisions now. And I just want to push this to see if I can get it to work. See how it's crossing the diagonals of all these polygons? I want it to actually try and flow down here. So I'm pulling one out, pushing the other one in. So it creates a very large change of direction that hopefully the Z-remesher will follow. And this flow could be a little better. So I'm going to peek that out too. And I want to keep this. And I want to keep this. Okay, let's do it again. Let's do it again. Hey, what's up, Brendan? How's it going, man? Good to see you. I haven't talked to you forever. Let's see. One step closer to leaving this rock to a real rock. Yeah, Brendan's amazing. Hey, I saw you were you're streaming again. What time? When's your stream time? Shout it to the world. Let's see. Let's try this. Yeah, thanks. I'm just doing this new ZRemesher workflow that I've worked out. It's kind of cool. See if it works. Oh yeah, 6 to 8 Pacific. Holy cow, man. That's a good time for the across the pond people, though. Let's see. Yeah, it kind of messed up in the corner of his mouth here because I closed it. I should have probably opened it up a little because you want the flow to actually like go around the corner of the mouth. And since the corners of the mouth are like this, it wants to do different things around that change of direction. So it's not giving me the best result. But as you can see, look at this. It gave me that geometry going down the mouth. So I'm going to go back, go down in subdivision levels, and then smooth this out a little bit and see if we can get, well, see if we can get this rounding out a little bit more. Right? That's what I've heard that several times. It's like, what are you doing? What is this crap? So Brendan, what I'm doing is I'm using these you know, the highs and lows to re-guide the ZRemesher. Instead of using ZRemesher guides, because that's kind of a, you know, a shot in the dark, I guess, sometimes. This is much more predictable for me, is actually like giving ZRemesher some peaks and valleys to follow along. And I've had some fairly good success with it. Sometimes I need to re-peak some of the stuff. But when I get a good base, then I can just kind of go to town on it. So let's see. Let's see how this, I'm pointing to the screen like you can see what I'm talking about. See how the flow goes across this smile line? I actually want it to go down that smile line. So I'm trying to reflow that geometry. Yeah, user error. I don't know, man. I've tried pretty dang hard. See, look at that. Look at that. It's flowing right down. And now, see, it's even a little bit more predictable result with those, with the corner of the mouth there. Like I said. So now when I just hit D, now I need to smooth all these out because I don't need these weird peaks and stuff that I put in there. So now I go in here and just kind of, now that I have the flow that I want, just kind of smooth it back down and then sculpt it again. Yeah, it's kind of a new technique I've been developing. I've seen one other person do something similar. That's kind of where I got the idea, and I thought I'd run with it. Okay. So now let's get cooking. We got an hour. Ready for rigging. Ready for takeoff. Okay. I gotta get busy. Kind of run late. Been yapping. He's got a much longer lip area than this. Let's turn this off. Are you still working on the dude you've been working on, Brennan? Sorry, I kind of said that like a hick. Brennan. Like we have no D in there. Also, Brennan, I'm going to the Formlabs Roadshow tomorrow. Interacting. Sorry. Different word. Yeah, I tried it. Oh, I gotta turn this down. So see how this big deep shadow is underneath the nose and I can't see what I'm doing? I put this OBJ shadow over here. This is from the render menu. And I'm just gonna turn that shadow off. Look at that. See you later. Get out of here. Yeah, I'm staying with Justin Goby Fields. He was kind enough to let me hang out with him. Maybe we'll go hit that cantina again. Shoot some smugglers. All right. Now that I have the flow going down this smile line, I can come in here and make it look better. With a pinch. So if I had not re-guided those ZRemesh lines down there, it would start to jag up. It would give me these really ugly jaggies going down here. All right, man. Will do. Yep, see how it's this geometry is just kind of getting pinched right in there. See, pinch even works with, I'm still working on this low geometry. This is what my mesh really looks like, right? It's garbage. I don't care. I honestly don't care. I just want it to be smooth and nice and work well enough that I can get done what I need to. Okay, let's start pulling out these jowls. The jaw. This is where his fur, this fur thing is gonna live. Down on this. All right, let's get some eyeballs in there so he's not so freaky looking. Maybe about like this. Oops, I want to separate those out. Oh, that's why it was running slow. My transparent was on. Oh, thanks, Mike. How you doing, man? Pull this back now to meet. Any. So that's my answer. Whatever you can afford. Which Wacom drawing tablet would you recommend for a student working with 3D modeling? Any one that you can afford. Even the Bamboos, the really cheap ones, are still better than sculpting with a mouse. Just don't sculpt with a mouse. You know, it's like, I'm gonna do an art project. I'm gonna go grab this brick and try and sculpt with a brick. You know what I mean? It doesn't work that well. So as long as it's a tablet, it doesn't matter. Even like the generic off-brands, but I would say get the best one you can afford at the time, and you don't necessarily need a big one. The best one I found is kind of the medium-sized one. I have one at work. I had one that was about this big, and that's just kind of too big. It covers your whole desk, unless you really like to get in there and work with your arm and your elbow. But I find the one that's about like this size is better, because you're kind of, there's not a one-to-one screen ratio. So it's better to kind of like move your arm less, and you'll get less fatigued and stuff like that. And you don't want to have that little small one if you can help it, because then you're like, you just move a little bit and it moves a lot across the whole screen. So yeah. Yeah, Bamboo one's great. And if you get ZBrush Core, they have a bundle where the bundle actually comes with a tablet, like a beginner tablet. And it's not bad. It's made by Wacom, and it has four little buttons on the top, so you can reprogram those. And yeah, it's good enough, you know. Especially if you're a student and you don't have as much just cash sitting around, you know, that's, yeah, there's nothing wrong with getting something like that. This is why, okay, I'm showing you right now, this is why I love, so you'll back me up, Brandon? Thanks, man. Intuos medium size. So as you can see, this is the reason why I like to make loops around my eyes. Not only is it good for, you know, rigging animation, stuff like that, but this is not an animation rig. I'm going to clear that up again right now. This is not intended for animation at all. This is just I'm just trying to get it so I can sculpt on it. So don't get the wrong impression. This is, but as you can see this loop going around. I can now use that to make a nice eyelid from. There's a lot of people that like to get half spheres, like my buddy Danny Mac. He loves to put in the half spheres and get them in there and then rework the topology, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a really nice way of getting the intersection between the upper lid and the head. That's a really nice way, because right now, as it is, I have to go and push that in to get that, and it's not as pretty. But I don't know why I tend to work this way. I just kind of like, I like working the eyelid around the eye as I go like this. And that's why I like these loops, because then I can come in here and I can pinch these. So see this, I turned on my dynamic subdivision. Now I can come in here with my pinch brush and just run it right along that ridge and get a nice kind of eyelid shelf, just like you would with a half sphere, you know. Then kind of push in the upper eyelid with the detail brush. I just kind of push it in like this. But if I do it this way, then I can kind of start shaping it how I want. Because if you put a regular eyelid in there, that starts at the eyeball, it's like a perfect sphere. So then you're kind of working in the reverse, where you start with that eyelid and you start pulling it out to give you the shape of that eyelid. And that shape would be more something like this, right? It's just like perfectly round. But I typically like to do my eyelids where it peaks around here, not around the center. And if you go and look at yourself in the mirror, you'll see that your eyelid is not like a perfect half moon, you know. It peaks somewhere along the way that's not in the center. So I'll kind of just work it in like that. Then I'll do the opposite. Let me see. I need to turn up my intensity. And this flow is kind of giving me a little bit of grief. I could probably Z-remesh again at a little higher res. I should have done a little bit higher resolution. But yeah, this is the resolution I'm working with, just so you know. And it's, yeah, it could probably be, I could even subdivide it once and do that. Let's see. You guys still yapping about Cintiqs? I've been sculpting on Cintiq 13. I'm not having a problem with it. I prefer drawing with a medium-sized Intuos. Yeah, 13s are they're pretty small. What's up, Worth? Play Counter-Strike. How you doing, man? You're coming to troll again. Trolling Worth. Mutated Jellyfish. He's my good friend Worth Daily. I'm gonna give him your address too. Anyway, welcome, man. Have you been streaming? Tired. We need to play some more Overwatch. I've been playing too much Monster Hunter recently. All right, let's get this poofing out. You know what? Let me see. I'm gonna save it. And I might try to duplicate this again. and Z-remesh it at a little bit higher resolution because this isn't quite enough for me, especially in those eye areas. Let me smooth that out. Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, dude, I saw. I've done that before in Gabe's class, right? Yeah, Rob. Yeah, you're on the wrong system, man. Well, you're on the right system for you. Wrong system to join up with me. Okay, let's see. Geometry, Z-remesher. Let's crank this up to a 7. Oh, I forgot to subdivide. Hang on. Let's turn on not Dynamesh. Gosh, dang it. Maybe I shouldn't put that button so close. Okay, let me refine this a little bit more. So I can have it follow me. He's angry. Gabe's teaching him well. See, Gabe is mostly like a environment artist himself, right? And he's teaching some character classes too, and he's like, oh, characters. But he's also a pretty good sketch artist. Okay. Just getting these lines to flow around a little bit more. I wonder if I can get these to connect. That'd be kind of fun. Maybe around here. Okay, it's going to look ugly for a minute. Okay, I'm going to try that. Oh yeah, you saw a photo of that today. You probably saw Worth. He's standing up like pointing at a screen. Oh, it was a senior portfolio class, so it's just deer in the headlights. Yeah. They've probably just been working like crazy to get their portfolios done. Okay, we got some jiggy jaggies going on now. Why did that do that? See, even when you're trying to make it bend to your will, it still doesn't. It doesn't like it. Let me smooth this out. Okay, let's try it again. We'll get there. Hey, Worth, Rob's going to GDC too. Roblums. Yeah, I'm still up in the air whether or not I want to go this year. Still up in the air. Come on, come on. Kind of running slow today. Sorry about that, guys. There, that's better. Better loops. There we go. All right. It's kind of looking like that dude from Grumpy Old Men. Grumpy Old Men. But we have some better edge flow going now, so hopefully that'll help. Okay. Hey, Arashi, how's it going? Oh, too much. Too much. Sorry, I'm going to focus for a minute. Get some stuff done here. Now his eyelids are both, they're kind of slanting down like this. So let's see if I can get that going. I'll give him some of those heavy eyelids or eyelashes too when we get there. Ah, what the heck did I do? Change colors. Stop it. I'll have to do that on the detail level. That second kind of eye bag happening there. I'm gonna use fill brush. Let's see if it'll work. Nope. Okay, what is going on with the jump? Why is it doing that? All right, build it up. This reminds me of the dwarf on Overwatch, because it's like build them up, break them down. It's kind of what you do, is build it up past where you want it. And then smooth it back down. Yeah, build them up, break them down. Okay, so something I'm noticing here as I'm making this, his eyes are way closer than what I have. So I'm gonna make some big moves here. Big moves. This is another lesson for you guys. Never ever be afraid. Don't be locked in. Don't be like, oh crap, the eyes are too far out. What am I going to do? I cannot recover. So don't be afraid. I'm just going to save this. You can always go back. We're going to make some big moves here. See, they're super close together. Let's get those close together. First, I'll move the eyeballs themselves. Let's turn on transparency. Yeah, about right there. Then we'll make the geometry match. Just get big. There we go. John Jake, why did you catch me? Probably do. If I don't, I should. It's like holding your breath when you're aiming a weapon. get a better shot. Breathing patterns. Okay, am I missing stuff? Last 2 years of GDC was all VR stuff. Oh yeah, just got boring since I was never really into it. If I isolate, hey, what's up, Hannibal? Let's see. If I isolate a polygroup, how do I change it from being hollow and turn it into a form? That's let's see. So you have to delete hidden. So it's just that. So it's just that polygroup. Otherwise, you're going to get kind of a mess. So you need to isolate that polygroup, and then you either extrude it with the Z modeler brush, or you can use a panel, which is under edge loop. This panel loops, you can use a panel loop. You just click it. If you're curious, you can watch some of my. I'm going to be doing it here on the eyebrows. You can see how I make those eyebrows. But yeah, I'll typically just add thickness either by tapping. Well, tapping on the surfaces from using the topology brush. But either extruding it with the Z modeler brush or using panel loops. Those are the two ways to add thickness to something. So let's see. And these eyebrows go way down over his eyes. There you go. You got to go back and forth. We're going to get this really nice pinch where the eyelids are to make that valley. So I kind of need to be careful as I pull these down. It's always better to kind of start with if you're going to have something like with a crevice, like, you know, this elbow, it's better to start with it out and then come in with it to make that crevice. If you're going to pose it like this, it's harder to get that valley looking nice unless you start with it out. So that's kind of what I'm doing with this eyebrows. I'm starting with it out, then bringing it in to pinch it together. Okay, let's kind of see how that looks. What do we got here? Okay, and I also need to clean up this this big definition, this defined shape in here, because we need to do a better transition between the ear and the head. So it's a little too far back. I wasn't even looking at that. This is what Phil is good with, but Phil usually works better with higher resolution geometry. Doesn't always work with a low resolution. So let's inflate that. So inflate is kind of tricky in this area because inflate will also bring the walls in. Let's see, VR is dead. Excuse me. What I'm trying to do is isolate a rib cage from a scan and isolate the ribs, pelvis, and make them solid forms of their own. Yeah, that's. I wish that's like kind of a bigger discussion than what I have to explain while I'm streaming. I would have to like sit down and show you how to do it, you know. But for the most part, it's better to retopologize if it's a scan of something. It's much better to retopologize that thing by hand. Yeah, sorry. That's a deep question. Okay. It's a good one though. Hey! What's up? How's it going, Ash? I'm making another head. Go figure. You make monsters. I make funny looking heads. What's going on tonight? Sorry, I'm a little behind, so I'm trying to crank. Yeah, they are. The good stuff. All right. So what do you think so far? So Ashley's another streamer for Pixelogic. She streams on here as well. And you stream tomorrow night, right? Are you streaming tomorrow night? She does crazy awesome monsters. From her brain. Cool. Streamer. Hold on a second. Disappearing. Coming back. All right. Oh, jeez. Damn it, Worth. Streamer. I do streams. A brain. Some cheese. Do a flip. Damn it. Worth. Knock it off. I'm a rock. I'm like an oak tonight. I'm an oak. I got a half an hour to finish this guy. Can he do it? I don't know. Yes, I'm just singing Bob the Builder. All right. So what are you up to? You said procrastinating and watching me. That's a good couple things. Get some beers. I need to, what am I doing? Why don't I have water, for crying out loud. Yummy. Yummy water. I'm about to Bob Ross. Get all Bob Ross on this shit. All right. Up in here. Happy little ear. Oh man. Just real quick, do a backflip. Okay, hold my beer, hold on. Alright, how does this look? My ear shape, he's all thick. He's so thick-eared. Could I draw a dude, you made me a diagram of how a game's made. Well, you made yourself one, but he made me a diagram of how my character pipeline goes. Silly. Okay, what is happening here? Gosh. Get out of there. Get out. Brendan was here, Ash. I don't know if he still is. What's happening? Welcome to the stream. Are you bringing people with you, Ash? What is this shit? He's here! Woohoo! Brendan's back. Hannibal, yes, you may. Sorry, kind of busy. Brennan's here too. Ask away. Ask away, ask away. They might even have a better answer than mine. Let's see. Oh, let's see. As an independent contractor, what type of deals do you like to make for indie projects seeking your services? Let's see. So I do occasionally do freelance work. I don't know how to answer that question. Sorry. I don't take on freelance too much anymore because I have a course. I teach a workshop full time. That's kind of my full-time gig now, is I teach a workshop. So I don't do much freelance or contract work anymore because honestly, I just don't have the time for it. Yep, projects that involve money are good. Yep. None of this, no percentages of the whatever, if it's successful. Thanks, Boyd. All right, this geometry is getting kind of weird in here. It's going to be covered with his eyebrow, so I don't care too much. Always look from underneath and above. How much? Well, it depends on the project, honestly. It depends on the character, how detailed the character is, and how much time is required. Yep, and it depends, honestly, too, it depends on how much I want to work on that project. That's part of it. Because I'm much more apt to work on something, you know, like Blizzard, you know, rather than like, say, Johnny's indie project that may or may not succeed. I mean, I don't mean to be rude or anything. I'm just saying, like, all those things are taken into consideration, you know, like how invested I am in the project, I guess is a better way to put it. If it's characters that are in my wheelhouse that look like they're really fun to do, then I might charge less for it. But if it's like some monster mech, you know, or something that is just not typical for me, then I might not want to do it. All those things go into consideration. Let's see. Rude streamer. So rude. Listen to this guy. He's such an ass. Jerk face. You gotta back me up. Okay. Okay, I think we're doing okay here. I got 15 minutes. Go. Let's see. I want to get these eyebrows in, some eyelashes. Hopefully get to that hair. At least get it in there. I might go a little overtime today. Poor Johnny. Dreams are crushed. Honestly, you get these people with these grand ideas. You know, I have this idea for this gigantic game. It's gonna be the best ever. And then, but they don't have any money. They can't pay for it. So then they start thinking of inventive ways to get the art done. And there is room for that, though. There is a thing called Artella that, I mean, I don't know how indie your project is, But there's this thing called Artella, and it's a group of independent up-and-comings, I guess you want to call it, up-and-coming people in the industry. And they kind of get together and help each other with a project that they're invested in. So that's super good thing. Let's see. You're going after the comb over, right? I hope so. What's up, Thunder? Okay. Eyebrows done. They're not done. Okay, let's break them off. Edit. We're gonna mix. Does it involve Skyrim? No, I'm just getting more rude. I don't mean to be rude, I promise. Let's see. ZModeler insert. There we go. Let's puff these out. Worth. Damn it, Worth. Get these closer. Make them bushy. Yeah. The brow bow. Show me them brows, bro. All right. Let's tuck the eye meat up underneath there. Eye meat. Go to the butcher and get some eye meat. Yeah. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. iMeat.com. That's probably a real thing. All right, you know what I'm gonna do now? It's gonna be crazy. Pulling these eyebrows off his head. What? That's right. Not safe for work site. Yep. iMeat. Oh my goodness. Too intense. I'm gonna curl it up on the look at this how it's curled. We're doing it. Snake hook for the win. Right, Ash? Come on, snake hook, get it, get it. What are you saying over there? Oh, why? that's why. I accidentally turned the intensity down. Close the holes. What? I just had my snake hook intensity too low. Hate it when that happens. For generalists fresh out of school, or even better, not even graduated, still looking for an awesome opportunity, exposure and fame, and all the things that comes with it. Works for $0. So typically, oh gosh, it's all, the price is all over the board. It really is. Like anywhere from, I don't even want to say. It goes, and it depends on what state you're in, what country you're in, who the client is. You know, there's like a bajillion factors. What are you saying? Are you being rude? Better not be being rude. Complete. Knock the crease off that backside. Knock the crease right off that backside. Okay, yep, if there's a recession, if there's a lot of work happening, or if you need it, if you're desperate for it. So I'm going to say though, and it sounds like you're looking for an artist to help you, but if you're actually an artist looking for work, and if you start working for a client, don't start out by lowballing the first job just to get in there. Because what that does is that sets what the client expects to get work done for. So it's better to actually like do the first job higher than you want, because that will set the precedence for the rest of the relationship. I messed up once, and I was kind of doing a guy a favor, and I'm like, all right, I'll do it for that much, help you out. He's like, all right, let's do another one. Like, ugh. I can't do another one for that price. Sorry. So then I had to turn him down, and it turned weird. So don't do that. Oh man. VR World is a project. The one. Okay, here we go. Let's get this hair done. Yep, I'm holding my breath. Okay, Brendan or Ash, I have a question for you guys. Do you know, and I asked this to Paul, and he sort of gave me the answer, but if you have a, if you ever, I don't know how you guys make your hair, but if you do stylized or whatever, not fiber mesh, but like stylized hair or just hair in general, and you guys saw how XM did it at the ZBrush Summit, how they took their big thick hair strand, and then that comes divided into several poly groups. And then what they did is they used frame mesh, which put a curve on each polygroup separation. Then they ran another tighter strands of hairs down, and but sometimes when you use frame mesh, sometimes the curves go one direction or the other, and they don't all go the same direction. Have you guys ever experienced that? Or if you're trying to use that frame mesh with curves, do you know how to get it running all the same direction, all the curves? Likeness comments? Oh, Yeah, this is still a complete work in progress. It'll get there. Coming in too early. But thanks. I appreciate the comments. Did you give him a what for? No. Insert sphere, then Dynamesh and Super Scope. What? What? Oh, you never had that issue with the curves going the wrong way? Oh, hey, Renault. How's it going, man? Holy cow. How you been? We never ran into each other again at CTN. I wanted to say hi and talk to you for a minute. Oh, well. But thanks, man. Okay, we split this off. Split down mass points. Yeah, next time I'm coming into town, but I'm gonna be in Hollywood. I need to make a special trip down there. That's all there is to it. Special trip. Let's see. Increase all. Thanks for stopping by, though, man. Let's see. Yeah, I need to still be pushing on this. Oh, sweet. That'd be awesome. Somebody taking off? Brandon, all right. Thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, it's hard to get a likeness in 2 hours. Sorry. See, trying to get this sweep to look good. You talked the Russian, yeah. Man, you hopped right in there. How'd you turn the mutton chop mesh into that low poly mesh? We never watch your stream again. No, it's not ZRemesher. So this is the topology brush right here, and all you do is you just draw on the surface. Come on, pick it. So I had the surface, and if you just draw like some geometry on the top, and then if you just tap on the surface, it'll give you geometry like that. Easy peasy. And that's what I did. I just drew the geometry of him, of the chops. He's being cool. All right. Tell him 2 hours, man. I've been working on it for 2 hours. Cover this jaw. All right, I'm gonna extend this out. Oh, thanks, Ash. I just need some pats on the back, man. That's all. Keeps me going. All right, let's go. You told it. Thanks. Like, come on. There's I'm trying to remember his name. There's a Russian streamer from Riot. Well, he used to work at Riot, and he streams occasionally. I don't think he streams on Pixelogic. I can't recall his name. Renal, do you know who he is? What his name is? You might know who he is. I met him once when I was at Riot for a minute. Oh yeah, Mapheness. So that question came up earlier in the stream, and it's a good question, but what my answer is in ZBrush, ZBrush doesn't really like to work. Oh gosh, sorry, pulling on my Vadim. Oh, thank you, thanks, Renault. Yeah, he's amazing. That guy. Holy cow. I'm trying to remember his Twitch handle too. I can't recall his Twitch handle, but yeah, he's good. He's really good with anatomy stuff. Okay, why isn't this? There we go. Okay, what was I saying? Perspective. Sorry, I had a squirrel moment there. Squirrel. Slipgate Central. Awesome. Thanks. You're like the answer guy. Thanks, man. Slipgate Central. You guys should I'm stumbling over my words. You guys should check him out. He does, he streams all the time, and he streams in both Russian and English while he's streaming. So it's pretty cool. Anyway, why I don't work in perspective, I will turn it on occasionally just so I can check myself and check the model and make sure it's not looking crazy. But if you turn on perspective and you try and do stuff like do a mask through the model, if perspective's turned on, perspective actually is skewing your model. It's not a true perspective camera like it would be in Maya, for example. So sometimes it'll throw off the symmetry if you try to move your stuff around. So I typically work with perspective turned off, but I will occasionally turn it on just to kind of check. And it doesn't have that high of a, you know, a perspective. It's just like it's set to 29. It matches like a 35mm camera a little bit better, but it's like ZBrush is not a true 3D viewport, so it throws it off a little bit. Anyway, so I hope that answers your question. Let's see. Yeah, Slipgate Central. Do you ever watch Imworth? You should go chat it up with that guy. Okay. Now he's looking more triangular than I would like. So I'm gonna pull in his jowls, make him more linear, more like a bean. But I want to pull these up forward. These kind of these dog looking Mr. Belvedere gels. There we go. Much better. Then we can pull in. I don't know why my alt selection's not working. You just noticed? So Renault, so Worth has been making a fan art of an Overwatch level, and you may have seen it. I don't know. He applied to work on the world building team. Anyway, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Worth. You should share it. Have him check it out. It's really, really good. So I'm sure you've seen it. You're working on it. All right. Oh, come on. Share it. Okay. This is bugging me though. This eye meat. Come on. There we go. That's better a little bit. All right. 80 level article. Oh, cool. Yeah. You don't know? Okay. Well, you should check it out. See what you think. No pressure. I just think it's really cool. He's modeling the headquarters, Overwatch headquarters, just based on concept art that has been out there. Okay, let's see. I want to pull this whole area in. Oh, you've seen it. Yep. Shared internally. Yeah. So Worth worked with us on Infinity as one of the level designers. He worked in with the toy box. Yeah, that was super cool. Okay. Now I want to make these shoulders. Now we'll make these eyelids. Looks like these lower eyelids are having a problem. It's hard not to tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak the little movements that I usually do when I'm working. It's such a different thing when you're streaming, you know, because I don't want to sit and make like a billion little tweaks like I usually do, because it's kind of boring to watch. So I just do larger ones and I hope it works out. All right, you got to go? Yeah, man. That'd be awesome. That'd be super cool. Thanks, dude. Thanks for stopping by. We'll have to catch up. I kind of wish I would want to go down for BlizzCon sometime too. One of my kids, well, two of my kids want to come with and check that out. They're huge Overwatch fans, and yeah, so maybe if not before then, maybe BlizzCon at least. That'd be awesome. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, man. Take care. We'll catch you later. Yeah, you should stream. Stream, man. Okay. Yeah, sometime. Yeah, man. If you ever need any help with that, just let me know. Take care. See ya. Okay. There we go. Eyelashes. Boom. Let's group split. No, I don't want to group split. No, I want to split unmasked points. Yeah, that would be awesome. So I don't know if you guys know, but Reno is the lead character artist on Overwatch. Great of him to stop by. That's really cool. You should check out his art on ArtStation. Oh man, sorry for the sniffing. polygroup each immovable group, made it a solid using Dynamesh, then used polygroups to make a Dynamesh subtool. So how can I pose the pelvis and ribcage chest? Ooh, man. Those are such, I'm sorry, those are such huge questions. It's, yeah, I want to, so you can use the move brush with a really big brush and turn on topological, because topological will make it so the first sphere or piece that you grab with the move brush will not affect the other ones. But ZBrush is not like your typical modeling software. You don't really pose it like you pose a typical character in a different, in say Maya or something like that. You use something called Transpose Master, but you don't want to pose it when it's Dynameshed. You want to actually turn it into a lower resolution object. So, because I wish I could explain the whole thing, but it's like you're asking me step 9 or 10 when like your introduction level to ZBrush is like, seems like a 2 or 3, you know what I mean? So I'll have to talk you through all of the steps to get to the point you're at and wanting to do, you know, before. So it's really hard to explain that much stuff. Gosh. So you were asking about my course. In my course, I teach you up to that level, up to that number 9. Not to say, hey, go buy my course, but I do cover most of that stuff. I do not cover how to use scan data, but you can kind of get the idea of how to do it from Dynamesh. You should go register. Yeah, man. So speaking of which, I just added 10 new lessons to my course. I'm going to show you guys really fast. And it's exactly for people like you, just starting out, brand new. What the crap is ZBrush? How do you get into it? I'm going to show you. I sat down with a good friend of mine. Oh, you're already in? Awesome. Okay. Hold on. Let me get in here and show you. Okay. So I'm going to show you where to go. So if this is inside my course, this is inside the 3D Character Workshop, which is open right now for winter enrollment if you're interested. I'm going to be closing enrollment on February 18th. So if you go into the Getting Started area right here, you'll see the course intro and how to set up ZBrush. But you'll also see this early ZBrush beginner walkthrough. See 10 lessons where I sat down with my good friend Adam and Noah, and we went through 3 hours of me sitting over his shoulder, like, and telling him exactly what to do and where to click and how to get to where, you know, it's until you're comfortable with ZBrush. That's exactly what this is for. So that there's a lot of people that just could not get the onboarding and the, you know, get into the ZBrush and understand what it was and how to navigate, how to get around, you know, where the menus you need to know where they're at, how to add geometry, how to hide, how to show, how to mask, how to use polygroups, how to Dynamesh, how to Z-Remesh, all that stuff. It's all in this 3-hour walkthrough. And I just barely added that last Friday. So it's brand spanking new. I talk about the gizmo, all that kind of stuff. But anyway, this is the course if you guys are interested. So it's 7 modules and some bonuses in here. So somebody else was asking about 3D printing. And this is where I go over how to prep for 3D printing right here. And then how to render in KeyShot. And then this little mini course of how to block out a head, just like I'm doing right now. This is essentially kind of like watching the stream, but during the stream, I only really cover these 2 videos. In this last one, I go into how to create a game character, like do retopology and baking maps and, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I also have Industry Pro interviews down here that I'm adding more to all the time. So here, I'm going to send you, let's see. So if you go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com right here, just you can watch this. This is a really low res image, but this is my Q&A all about the workshop. You can watch this. It's about 1 hour and 20 minutes. And then it'll explain everything there is to know about the workshop, how you can get in, how much it costs. And then you go to the enrollment page right here. And then this is showing you how many days you have left to enroll. But if you go into this enrollment page, it'll tell you what the price is. So go over to 3dcharacterworkshop.com. That's where it's at. And you can also grab all these brushes in this user interface that I'm showing you today with the ruler in it. You can go grab those right now for free off my website just by clicking right here. And you'll sign up for my newsletter and you'll get those brushes and the user interface and stuff. So anyway, oh, thank you very much, Joanner. Okay, let's get back to it. Okay. So I hope that answers you guys' question. All right. Let's turn off creasing. Do I want to turn off creasing? Maybe just for the back or the front. Let's see. Crease. Turn that off. I'm starting to lose some of my hotkeys. I've been streaming too long. Sometimes that's what happens. Your hotkeys will just decide not to work anymore. So you have to manually push the buttons. Okay. And also, if you're interested in seeing some of the student work that's coming out of that workshop, I'm going to show you really quick that too. So if you go back to this front page, you go to the top right here, there's a high-res gallery and a blockout gallery, and I still have a game character gallery coming and a 3D printing gallery coming. So if you click on this high-res gallery, you can look at the character or a bunch of characters that the students have done, and they've done some phenomenal work. So I don't know why it's being so slow, probably because I'm streaming. There we go. Look at these. Yep, if you want proof, here you go. Yep. It just keeps going. I just updated the gallery 2 days ago with all the newer stuff. So anyway, yep, if you want to learn how to make characters, come on. Come on in. Okay, let's inflate these. Okay, I'm happy with that so far. Okay, I'm going to start coloring him up. I don't know if I'm going to have the chance to get his whatever this is called, his coat jacket done. I kind of want to move his ear back even more because it's funny. It's funny. Like that. Except for I need to move it in a different direction, not with the camera, more like this. All right, Surfer. Thanks, man. Excuse me. I'd love to see you in there. Join us. Join us. Your monster has chops like this guy. Awesome. What's your favorite weapon, Rob? Did I ask you that already? I'm trying to remember if you told me. You told me. What was it? Oh, was it the bow? One of us. Everybody's doing it. All right, you know what? So sometimes when your mesh is just too low of res, look at that. It's just horrible. I'm just going to quickly, I'm going to Z-remesh this. Apply. Let's work it out. Let's see, Z-remesher. Let's turn it down to 4. Hit it. You got a bow kick? Yeah. Okay, you did tell me. That's cool. Bow's kind of fun. I just find it a little low on the damage. So but anything else, but it's good with for quick movements and getting around and getting out of the way. I've used that heavy bow gun, and it's like you're just standing there, but you take the damage, you know. You just plow right through you. Okay, I'm gonna do some little tweaks now. Making his nose bigger. I want to get the nostril pointy like that. Pull this tip down. And then get that angle. His eyes are a little smaller than what I have them. Okay. His lower eyelids are bigger. And then they kind of fade out over here faster. I'm just explaining kind of what I'm looking at and what I'm doing. This is like the polish refinement phase. I usually don't take it this far on the stream, but this is kind of the workflow I go through when I'm making the characters. It's like, okay, now it's time to polish. Where can I make it look even more like the concept, you know? Because that's the goal. Make it look like the concept. Hunter, Ranger, Sniper type classes, yeah, they're fun. Like I really loved Horizon Zero Dawn for that very reason. Super nice. But I mean that's just one. I mean there's the glaive, right? But there's pretty much just the one bow to worry about. Whereas in Monster Hunter you have so many choices, so many. It's like which one do you choose? Like my friend Matt Armstrong said, he's like, yeah, just most games just kind of build their game around one of these weapons, you know. And I'm just surprised how balanced they are, how balanced the weapons are. Like there's not one obvious choice, you know. It's not like, oh yeah, everybody just pick the giant sword, you know. It's like no, the hammer's just as viable. I've actually been playing with the music one. The music one's great. So there's like a hammer that is it's a bagpipe, and so you're playing songs where you're beating on on dinosaurs and monsters. It's pretty funny. Okay, and this doesn't change direction that fast. Sorry, focusing. Focus. All right. See this triangle, how much of a shape that smile line is making a triangle? Mine is kind of more squarish. So I'm going to try and remedy that. Hopefully it just slowly looks more and more like the guy as I make these little tweaks. Let's see. Also, the chin transition doesn't have this tight of a crease right here. It just kind of breaks the symmetry. So I'm going to pull that out, smooth it down in. But it does have this quick turn right here. That's what's kind of difficult is 2D artists will cheat and make it look one way on one side and another way on the other side. So it's like, well, now what do you do? So I'm just going to bring the crease up as high as I can that looks good. Something like this. And then smooth out the rest. And hopefully that'll still have that, yeah, see that change of direction? But then this will be smooth up here. You can use inflate. Because underneath your lips, like right in here, there's typically like some fatty pads right here. And you wanna kind of fatten those up. They kind of go from here and aim out, and they kind of taper out as they go. And no, I don't know the name of them. I just know they're there. Okay. Now let's move this beard back a little bit. I'm looking at this curve. See this curve that goes, it's almost like a roller coaster. It goes off the top of his head and then swoops down to his, his shoulder. So if it's like turn there, I mean, I'm not going to line it up with this shoulder because it's in 3D, but I can still get that, that swoopy curve. And it sticks clear out here, so it kind of gives you an indication of how far out it goes. You just want to make sure it has that swoopy curve. Then you want to maintain that shape language. So it's got all these curves, and you can see that it kind of has a curve coming up from the chin and in like this. And you can see that I just kind of have it straight, and it's not continuing that edge flow. So I want to pull it in. I'm really sounding like Bob Ross. Just want to paint a little tree. Paint a little tree. Happy little chops. Okay. And I kind of went a little too high res with the Z-Remesher. And when you do that, you start to get the lumpies. Get a case of the lumpies. See these lumpies? So I'm going to combat that is just kind of put an edge along here. But it looks like it's swooping this way, not that way. Happy accidents, right? So let's see. Yeah, I kind of like it going that way. So even though I started to have it, swooping like this, I'm looking at the concept and it's actually going this direction. So I'm going to change it going that direction. And now, instead of flowing off the chin, I'm looking at it to flow off of the smile line like this. And then I'll put one more little guy coming off of there. Maybe with the snake hook brush, we'll see what happens. I'm going to save it really fast. We're going kind of long tonight. Hey, what's up, fan? Is this my job or just a hobby? So I have been working in the game industry for about 18 years. And I used to work on Disney Infinity. I worked for Disney for 10 years, 10 of those years. And now I just have an online workshop that I do, and I do some contract work on the side. So I guess yes, it's my job. But it's also a hobby. That's how you know that you love what you do, is when you go home and you keep doing it after your job. That's when you know you're like, okay, that's what I'm born to do. Because if you think about it, not to knock on plumbers or anything, but I'm sure like when a plumber goes home for the day, he doesn't go, you know what? I'm going to crank on some pipes some more tonight. Because I didn't get enough of that at work. And not, like I said, not to knock plumbers or anything, but just think about it, you know? It's like it's kind of comes with the territory, you know? It's just fun. What? You work for Disney? Yes, you did. I worked with mutated jellyfish at Disney Interactive as well. Okay, let's see. His head is so giant. I really want to emphasize that even more. Make it kind of go back and crown at the back. And see how it kind of, the curve kind of cuts back pretty quickly. There we go. Oh, thanks, Bazooka. That's awesome. It's good to hear. That was a good time. That was a fun year. I probably don't have the geometry. Yeah. Let's see if I can pinch it. Pinch it. Show. Does this go around? Okay. That's another thing. Since it's still low, I can always go in and add more geometry in here just for a minute. Insert edge loop. Okay. That one. This one might go crazy. That's okay. All right. For a 3D artist, is it better to have a job in the industry or freelance to give more opportunities? So the difference between a full-time studio job and freelance is, with freelance, you're kind of on your own, and it's up to you to get the contracts, you know, and what you're working on kind of has more variety from job to job to job, and it has you know, more, well, you kind of hope it has more stability than freelance, because freelance, I mean, you could be dry for a couple months, and if you don't have savings, then where are you, you know? So you kind of have to be aware of that and have a decent amount of savings or something else, like another job that's helping you out to make those ends meet. Then this totally looks like a toe or something, right? It's a big toe head. It's too funny. And then yeah, and then the stability with a studio, you kind of work on the same project for quite a while. So like for Disney Infinity, I worked on that for 5 years, and that was good, stable work for a long time. But you know, the variety, it kind of came with the characters, but it was the same project the whole time. Whereas when I was working freelance, it's like, okay, I'm going to work for this company for a while, and then I'll work for this company for a while. And then, you know, the different types of characters that come in would kind of keep it fresh and moving. So hope that helps. So it's kind of give and take if you want the stability or not. And that being said, and it also depends on where the studio is and how stable the company is itself. You know, because even the company I was working for, they decided to pull the plug on, you know, the Disney Interactive at Avalanche. They decided to shut it down. So it doesn't matter how big the company is, it's not like perfectly stable. It could, and the industry is very volatile, I guess is the word. So during my career, my 18-year career, I've worked at 6 different game studios. throughout my whole career. I've moved here and there, and it's usually due to them either closing or not getting another project or slimming down, layoffs, you know, what have you, just all that stuff. It all depends on how it's I call it it's like a rock star industry. If you're not putting out the hits, then you're playing bars, you know, so you got to kind of move to the next band. Fired by the mouse. Get up. We don't need you guys no more. Okay. Let's get back to this. All right, I'm going to color this guy up and commit his dynamic levels. So I'll make another head, duplicate this off, and then just kind of start making up some colors. Even though I'm not going to put a coat on him tonight. Let's see. Let's change this back to, let's go Zebra paint this time. Okay, and then let's give him kind of a little tanner. Orangier, maybe a little more red. It's kind of a pink. Maybe a little lighter. Maybe something like that to start out with. Okay. And I didn't do these hairs in the back coming off. If I was to keep going, I'd make those hairs kind of go all the way around the back of his head, kind of flip out. I might do that because I still want to put the coat on him. I just don't have the time right now. So let's get him a little more in the red. Who's the mouse? Disney, Mickey Mouse. The mouse. I'm gonna make him like rosy-nosed drunk. Let's make him a little more red here. Let's go that red. So this is a 27-inch Cintiq is what I'm using here. It's made by Wacom. You don't need something like this if you're starting to get into sculpting. This is a little overkill and unnecessary, but it's nice to use. It speeds up your workflow quite a bit. So it pays for itself and it's worth it, but if you're just starting out, it's unnecessary. It's not like, I need a big Cintiq if I'm going to do this for a living, which you don't. Okay. Let's go with the blues. Solo this for a minute so I'm not distracted by the colors changing. I kind of do some fake ambient occlusion sometimes. I just applied my dynamic subdivision. We're no longer in dynamic, so now we have real subdivisions. So now I can come in here and fix this stuff. It's bugging me a little bit. Get better creases. So we have more detail in our mesh. I'm going to turn off symmetry for this these forehead grooves, just so I can get a little asymmetry out of them. Whoa. Perfect. Okay. Let's see here. I like that dark brown for the eyelids. So I'm going to grab these eyelids and fill them. But with the... There you go. And these eyebrows, I kind of picture him kind of reddish. Reddish, brownish hair. So, what is that? Burnt umber? Let's see. Sorry, I'm ignoring you guys for a minute. I'm trying to focus to get this done. It's almost 11. Yeah, Moana. You guys should check it out. Mike T's poly paint process on the last couple streams, pretty interesting. Yeah, it's super. That's nice for more realistic characters. I like to just kind of build up a subtle tone over the whole thing. I was an airbrush artist back in the late 80s, early 90s. So I'm just kind of airbrush guy, and I just like to subtle airbrush it like I was painting a 3D model, I guess. I don't know. I like that technique. I've tried it before, but it's kind of a too much of a color wash, and then yeah, it works reverse from what my brain wants to do. So I don't typically do that, but it's cool. It's way cool. Mike T's awesome. I have a gizmo question. I have blocked out, and I'd like to pose bend parts. I put them all in the same poly group, but the gizmo's masking still stops with the mesh island. Yes, I started on. Is there a way to change that behavior? No, that's kind of how it works, but you can add to your masked selection. It's a super tricky thing to do, but the best way to do it for a beginner is to hide all of the poly groups that you don't want to pose and just show all the ones you do, and then invert the hidden and mask it, and then show all, and then that segment of all your poly groups will be shown, and then stick the gizmo in the point that you want to rotate from, and then rotate like the whole leg or whatever you're going to pose, and then do the same thing, just hide any. So I use just kind of a variation between hiding, showing, and masking to select my different poly groups. I don't typically hold down control and tap on each poly group, because that's just going to get you one, and you don't want just that one. There is a trick to add to that unmasked selection, but it's kind of tricky, and I don't have a good setup right now to show you how that works. So anyway, that's what I would do, is just use hide and show, and then you're masking. So hope that helps. But there is not a way to actually change how that works. That's kind of how it works. Okay, so I'm going to fill this, and apply, crank it up. See where we at. One more. Okay, yep. Let's not have brown eyeballs. Let's get more into the yellowish. Oh, it's too yellow. Get back out of there. All right, that's good. Let's Fill that. Okay. Now what we can do is just kind of, I'm going to use the clay buildup just because I want some kind of loose, whoops, no. B, C, B. There we go. We'll just get some surface texture in these eyebrows here. Then we'll do the same thing with this beard. Whoop, guess I gotta select it. And it's kind of cool to push right up into the head with this thing, because then you'll get some variation where it connects. Oh, thanks, man. Okay, let's crank up that intensity on that smooth and smooth these back out. Keep going back to the, that's too much. Okay. Now we can use a snake hook brush too to come in here and just kind of make it so it looks like the hair is growing out of his face just by, whoop, too much. It's kind of tricky. You have to get the camera right on plane with it. Just kind of add some hair variety. Hair of the hair variety. Whoop. Okay. Good times. That's kind of a little too even. It's like ch-ch-ch-ch. So let's get, that's fair. Oh, geez, not that. Not that. Squish some and pull some. There we go. Kind of looks like wood, but oh well. So let's put some hairs, just some highlight hairs in there. I typically do the dark ones first, though. So let's grab just a darker brown and crank up the RGB intensity. Just kind of color some dark. Let's crank it up even higher. There we go. So this is like the airbrush, and you're taking it going, you know. Yeah, sometimes you'll get these dots. You have to be careful. Slower, slower. Bigger brush on the bottom here. What? Shown? What? Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get into the oranges. Do some highlights. Maybe not that bright. All right. Okay, let's get some dark in that ear too. I kind of like to go like blue or purple when I'm going down in, so it's not just, whoa, not that much. Oot. I don't have symmetry on. Okay. See how blue is just kind of a warmer thing, and you can build it up. This is kind of what Mike Thompson does. So you build up a color, then you select a different one, and then push it back down. That way it's kind of underneath and mixed and blended with it. What program? You guys. Okay, I want to really darken up these eyes. This is ZBrush 4R8 patch 2. Oh, these are the eyes. There we go. Like, why isn't that painting? Again, I want to go with some like a bluish purple. Then, see with this forehead is really bright. It's kind of fun to grab the skin color and then push it towards yellow. Go really big with it. Just kind of, not that much, just lightly. Just Bob Rossing it today, just lightly, just a little bit. Okay, let's do the eyeballs, shall we? Come on, eyeballs. You guys. Okay, here we go. Black. Turn off symmetry. Let's see, we need this to not be dynamic. Divide it up to almost 1,000,000. Let's see if it can take it. Yep, okay. Let's see. Eyes are hard to get them lined up right. Not bad. I'm going to take this a little darker with the eyelids. Then I'm going to give him a little lower eyelid. This is why I love ZBrush. Just tap it in. Oh, just give it a little tappy. It's your home. Just go to your home, ball. I have fond memories of watching that show with my brother. My brother's a professional golfer. He used to love that show. All right, here we go, crease. Takes a very steady hand. Okay, and you'll notice I'm going from thin to thick as I go along here. Now I can get in here and paint it. And if you have pinched edges, your paint will tend to hug that edge and not go over. Hopefully this doesn't kill the stream because I'm really close to my model. Sometimes it does. Okay, I'm getting the warbles. Case of the warbles. Ah, doesn't always work. Turn on lazy mouse. Still. Man, he looks all piratey now. He's all right. Oh, lazy mouse. He's got theater paint going. Not bad. There's something about the likeness, though, that I'm not quite getting a hold of. It's driving me crazy. Besides the fact that he doesn't have a shirt on. Not that there's anything wrong with that. This might be a little too high. A little too... And oh, yeah, I need to add that hair back there. That'll help. Let's see. I'm going to pull this jowl out. Because I really want to see this right there. A bit droopier. Yeah, you're right. Like this, right? Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. And these are a bit tighter. Thanks, Worth. Let's see. Now they're a little too big of eyes, though. Yeah, it just looks older. I'm trying to find out why. Why? His nose is in the way of his eye a little more. Let's turn perspective on. His eyebrow's a little too far out. Anyway, I could tweak on this forever. Tweak, tweak, tweak. Tweaks, little tweaks. Let's do... You know what? Let's try something just for fun. Sometimes I like to just kind of check it. I usually check it earlier, but it's not going to be close. Yeah, his ear's a little lower, but let's see. And his nose is cheated. It's kind of cheated off the out of there, you know. Let's see. Yeah, his eyes are even closer than what I have them. They're so small and beady and close. So that would probably help. That's probably the biggest thing. See how that's cool? You can go back and forth. It's kind of like a flip book, an animator, like a, you know, what's different? But it's hard because in a 3/4 view that somebody's drawn where they don't have access to both sides themselves, they're kind of fighting with the same stuff, you know? Yeah, look how much closer and smaller those eyes are. All right, hold on. I'm going to save it right here. And I'm going to try it. What time is it? 11 o'clock. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. Oh, that's why. Okay. It's gonna look funny for a minute until I get those eyes pushed in. Even more slanted. Now his eyelashes are really long. And hanging out in space. Gotta check your model from all views, people. All the views. Okay, now that I shrunk his eyes, I'm gonna see what happens if I pull this whole area in. Gosh, flipping out. It's flipping out. There we go. It's getting closer. Closer. Somebody's closer. Another Happy Gilmore reference. It'll be kind of fun. Watch this. Let's do this. I want to pull his nose to one side. Just for fun. Have I ever used 3D Paint? By whom? Which 3D Paint? I've used Body Paint. It's by the same folks who make Cinema 4D. That was a thing back in the day. And I've painted with Photoshop on 3D. The new Microsoft Paint 3D, I have not. Is it any good? The thing with any other painting program is you're not going to get, well, not that I'm aware of, you're not going to get millions of polygons to paint on, but I may be mistaken. Okay. There we go. Better. What do you think, Worth? Maybe not so frowny. He's looking kind of smug. Looking kind of smug. That a song? Pull these jowls out. There we go. It's getting closer. Closer, closer. Every little tweak. Can't figure out how to move an object up, so pretty bad. Any recommendations on software to sketch a prototype? Yes, Sculptris. Try Sculptris. It's free. And I have a tutorial on how to use it on YouTube. Just look up Shane Olson Sculptris. I did it like 4 years ago, but the program hasn't changed, so it's still pretty good. I'm going to push this in. Forever tweaking. He looks like my old boss from a long time ago. You know, I have a double thing going on here now. Well, I always have, but instead of this single thing, it's like double thing. I want a double thing. I do want to double down underneath here just because it's funny. It's like down here, but from the profile, I don't want to see it. Oh, thanks. Okay. We're getting there. I think we're getting there. I think I'm going to wrap it up soon. Have to go. Yeah, man. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna wrap it up right now. I'll do I'll see if I can do this suit thing offline. Maybe some hair in the back, just to kind of make it funny. Make it closer. Just make this swoop a little bit more. Gosh, and there's just something about it. Maybe, like I said, you can tweak forever on these things. So there he is. All right. So after you finish with the ZBrush, how hard is it to animate these? Well, you cannot animate these. You have to go back in and retopologize it. You have to rebuild the topology on the surface. Then depending on if you're going to go to film or game, then you have to transfer all of that detail to the lower resolution mesh that you just made, either via normal maps or via displacement maps. So normal maps are for games, displacement maps are for film, typically. So this is only for a render or a 3D print right now. So if I wanted to animate him and make him an actual animatable character, I'd have to rebuild the topology in order for it to work and be rigged and to be animated. So that's a good question. Thanks, man. Okay, so I am going to wrap it up for tonight, but here is the final result of the evening. Let's see, am I still, yeah, I'm still in perspective. Yeah, I'm fairly happy with it, but I think his likeness could be better. But this is where I'm going to land. Stop. So, yeah. Oh, see you later, Worth. Anyway, thanks everybody for dropping by. Thanks Pixologic for having me again. And again, my course is open for winter enrollment. If you're interested in that, I run a workshop on 3dcharacterworkshop.com, and it's a really big workshop. And if you want to check it out, here you just go to, these are a bunch of student works from the workshop. And if you go to 3dcharacterworkshop.com right now, as it says, winter enrollment is open. And right here, this big low resolution image, this is a Q&A that I did a while ago where I told you all about the course. So everything you need to know is in this Q&A. And then if you want to enroll, you just go right here and it'll take you to the breakdown page where it shows you everything inside the course. And that's going to be open for another 12 days. So if you guys are interested in that, if you want to wait a while and you're not quite ready to hop into the workshop, but you like these brushes right here and you like this user interface, I give that away. If you join my newsletter, you can join it up right here, this newsletter. And that is it. So I am going to be at the Formlabs Roadshow Thursday and Friday. I'm going to be doing kind of a roundtable talk thing at the Roadshow, and it's being held in Hollywood in LA, and so I'll be there for 2 days. And so if you're there, stop by and say hi. There's going to be a whole bunch of industry people there. It'll be a lot of fun. So anyway, take care, guys, and thanks for hanging out with me on this Tuesday night. We did 3 hours this time. Crazy. It was fun. I couldn't stop. That's kind of what happens. You get going, you can't stop. So this guy was a lot of fun. Anyway, take care, guys, and I'll see you next week. I got to figure out how to shut this thing off every time. All right. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Take